Our story begins in 1999 here in San Antonio. We dated all through school. We got married a week after we graduated, and then we went off to residency a few weeks after that. You know, residency was just a big part of our life, long weeks.
Lots of studying individually and a lot of come and go. Never saw each other all that much. I thought that we were doing just fine.
I felt pretty lonely in the marriage. We're almost 5 years into the marriage when she's getting close to graduating, and she'd been accepted into a fellowship in Dallas, so she was going to move to Dallas and spend 2 years in school. You know, it just felt like the career was the most important thing, so I thought, well, she can have her career, and I'll have my life, and we'll be fine. And so I finally just gave up. I didn't respond correctly in our marriage. Pretty quickly, I started having an affair and then another.
I was living in Dallas, and I started going to church with a friend. I thought I was a Christian. We went to church, but never understood how to have a relationship with Christ or what that relationship means. And then it was on one of these trips home that I found a phone with some text messages, incriminating text messages.
And then I admitted, everything. And then we were kind of in limbo for a little bit. And then in April, I filed for divorce.
It's kind of gearing up in my head to start thinking about what would divorce look like. And I remember being in my apartment by myself and just emotional. There was a point where I actually heard the word of God, and he told me to love him, love Mark. And so it was clear to me that God was not on board with my plan and that there was a different route we were going.
Rashel would come home and we would still have some fights, but she was also much more patient, much more kind, much more of the fruits of the Spirit than I was used to. And so I could see some real change. As her fruit became evident, then my excuses began to fade, and I was left with, I'm only doing this out of my own selfishness, not because of her. And I can't blame her because she's accepted some of the blame and admitted some of the wrongs. And so now it's just about me and just breaking God's law. I went to my office, and I don't know why I did it. Just on the computer, I just opened up one of the online Bibles, and I don't remember what I read, and I didn't read very long. Everything just hit me. And I said, God, I need some help because I am a lost sinner who loves myself. And I just wept.
As Mark was reading his Bible, I had been doing what God had asked of me, and it was time to let go. I could not change Mark's mind. I could not make him come back. And I certainly was frustrated and probably fed up at this point and was very happy to hand him over to God.
And then I thought, maybe I can get home and Rashel will still be home. Maybe she hasn't left. And so I stopped real quick at the grocery store on the way home and got some flowers, and I went home. She was still there. There's not words to say. And I just was crying, and I said, I am so sorry, and Rashel held me, and then we reconciled.
God's hand in this mess is just beautiful. Mark's dad asked me, why? Why would you want to stay married? What's different? So the difference this time is we're going to put God in the center of our marriage. God very clearly took a story that we tried to ruin and redeemed it.